Ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is in a big trouble as U.S. Federal Reserve is coming out to open an investigation on Kenya's 2014 $2.75 billion Eurobond. This was the money that was given to Kenya at that time where Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was the president and William Ruto was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. According to the allegations that are coming from the US Federal Reserves, we are being told that after this 2.7 billion Kenya shillings was given to Kenya, they are retracting $117 million that was moved from JP Morgan bank account to Kenyatta's kin, or rather Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's next of kin. And now, according to that Eurobond of $117 million that was removed from the bank account was directly transferred to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's step brother, who is called Magana Kenyatta. They're saying that this $117 million that was transferred from the main account was directly moved to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's step brother, Magana Kenyatta. Now, as if that is not enough, we are being told that the money as Eurobond never came out reflecting to the government account, or rather Kenyan government account. And according also to the auditor's report, this never appeared into their reports by that time. So in simple terms, this money never reflected to the Kenyan government account, and at the same time, this money was never reflected to the auditor's report. So at the same time, Raila Odinga came out exposing main four key players who came out mishandling this Eurobond money. And number one is Mzee Joseph Kinyua. Mzee Joseph Kinyua was the head of the Public Service Commission during the regime of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and William Ruto was the deputy president. Then we are having Njuguna Ndung'u. Njuguna Ndung'u, who by then was the CBK governor, the Central Bank of Kenya, the governor. And now he is the current cabinet minister of Treasury. So, Raila Odinga came out exposing Joseph Kinyua, by then was the head of Public Service Commission. Then Njuguna Ndung'u, who was then the CBK governor and now is the current CS of Treasury. Then we are having Kimani Ichung'wah, Dr. Kimani Ichung'wah, who by then was the principal secretary of Treasury. And now, Dr. Kimani Ichung'wah is now the governor of CBK of the Republic of Kenya. And now we are having Henry Rotich, who was the CS of Treasury. So these four main people came out playing a key role when it comes to this misappropriation of this Eurobond money that was given to Kenya. And this is how Raila Odinga came out exposing.
Thursday, and code leader Raila Odinga will release names of government officials he alleges played role in the Eurobond saga.
One, Mr. Joseph Kinyua, Chief of Staff in the Presidency and Head of Civil Service. Two, Mr. Henry Rotich, Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury. Three, Dr. Patrick Kamau Thuge, Principal Secretary, National Treasury. Four, Mr. Bernard Ndung'u, Accountant General, National Treasury. Five, Jairus Mohammed Nyaoga, Chairman, the Board of Directors of Central Bank of Kenya.
Other names include CBK Chair Jairus Mohamed Nyaoga, former CBK Governor Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, John Birech, Financial Markets Director CBK, and the Financial Management Director Central Bank of Kenya Moses Muthui. According to Raila Odinga, these are the persons of interest as far as what allegedly went wrong with the Eurobond proceeds.
That we are in the middle of a great con game, treachery and thievery by the agents of the Kenyan state working in cahoots with international actors.
According to the trail of Eurobond proceeds released by the code leader, the National Treasury is borrowing approval from Parliament under the sovereign bond was 142.7 billion shillings in the 2014-2015 financial year and seems to differ with the press statement in October 2014. Raila says the 7 purported transfer instruction letters from the sovereign bond account number 100212764 add up to 162.2 billion shillings, which differs with the approved stated amount by 20 billion. The presentation by code goes on to state that the controller of budget recognizes tap sales of 73.8 billion shillings, but not the 87.8 billion shillings stranded at the Federal Reserve Bank in New York. It argues that the sovereign bond proceeds not deposited into the consolidated fund total to 141 billion shillings. The amount the code leader maintains was lost.
We demand that the top national treasury officials, namely the Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Henry Rotich, the Principal Secretary, Dr. Kamau Thuge, and the Accountant General, Mr. Bernard Ndung'u, resign immediately and be arraigned in court for committing the following acts or omissions.
But some of the senior government officials mentioned denied the existence of any wrongdoing. Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua has denied being aware of an alleged scandal involving the Eurobond funds. Kinyua says Raila's move is malicious. Through his lawyer Ken Ogeto, Kinyua wants Raila Odinga to retract the allegations of face court action. CBK Board Chairman Jairus Mohamed Nyaoga has also threatened to sue the code leader for linking him to the Eurobond scam. Nyaoga says he has never been involved in the Eurobond transactions. CBK has also defended Nyaoga, maintaining that he had no access to or participation in the Eurobond saga. The Central Bank of Kenya says that it acted according to its mandate as banker to the government and has provided all evidence requested by the investigating agencies on the receipts and disbursement of the funds. It says allegations that its officials were involved in any misappropriation of Eurobond proceeds have no basis.
So, after watching the video, the basis there was that Raila Odinga had already came out to complain about this Eurobond. But no one came out listening to Raila Amolo Odinga. In other words, these people are cooperating towards stealing this Eurobond, and they know themselves. And by the way, it reached a time that even Henry Rotich was removed. He was sacked. And at the same time, the reason why he was being removed from the office as the Cabinet Minister of Treasury was about these scandals of Aror and Kimware Dam, So in other words, when you look at the government of the Republic of Kenya, when you start 2013, coming till date, you will realize that those people who are in the government, or rather those who are in the government of Uhuru Kenyatta, and now still in the government of William Ruto, are watu wako na madoadoa sugu. And that is why, when you look at people like Njuguna Ndung'u, who is now the Cabinet Minister of Treasury, this is the same man behind the Eurobond saga. At the same time, you saw that Njuguna Ndung'u was also named in a certain scandal of a certain hotel was being sold. And when look at the kind of corruption that was there, was simple that this man is not a clean man. But you know, the problem that you're having in Kenya is that someone will do something that is not clean, but still is the darling to the government of the day. They're being employed, given jobs. When look at now, he was given the cabinet minister of treasury. Earlier on, he was the CBK governor. Na alikuwa na mascandals left, right, center. Now, he's the cabinet secretary wa treasury. Ni nini na, at the same time, tukiongea saa hii, kuna saga ya edible oil. Ya edible oil. Where pesa ilitolewa. Na wakati ilitolewa kuenda kununua mafuta, kuleta hii mafuta, where there was importation of edible oil, rice, maize, soya, and other commodities that was going to ensure that the prices of commodities are going to be lowered. But again, we are finding that Juguna Ndugu is behind again this scandal in between Moses Kuria and Minteka Linturi. Now, when you look at Kamau Tunge, Dr. Kamau Tunge, who is now the current CBK governor, Central Bank of Kenya, he was the principal secretary at that time where this Eurobond was being given to Kenya. So he's being linked to this Eurobond. At the same time, this PS, or rather the current now governor of CBK, was the PS of Treasury, and earlier, formerly, they were also in a certain scandal. When you look at also Henry Rotich, the same. So Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is being investigated because also himself is in this saga. And this saga is, according to the US Federal Reserve, they are saying, wanapata kwamba $117 million was moved from the main account to the step brother to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and that is Magana Kenyatta. I think he was running for MCA of a certain, ward in Mount Kenya region. Magana Kenyatta. This money was transferred to the account. Now they are trying to retract. It is not me who is giving that, of course, the evidence, but of course it is from the US Federal Reserve that has just come out to open the investigation against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Hii milioni 117 $117 yenye lipelekwa huko ilienda wapi? At the same time, by that time, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was the president of the Republic of Kenya. William Ruto was the deputy president. Mbona hii pesa hii reflect kwa account ya government? And according to the report of the auditor, tena hii pesa hii kwa inaonekana. Inamaanisha these people ate this money. Walikula hii pesa kweli kweli. And by that time, Raila Odinga was coming out to raise an alarm. Some people came out saying that Raila Odinga ni mtu wa propaganda na kupiga kelele. Now, why? Mbona hawakukuja kuaccuse Raila Amolo Odinga? So walikuwa wanamthreaten kumpeleka kotini. Mbona hawakumpeleka? Because they knew the truth. But I don't think if this is something that is going to succeed still. Because the bigger percentage of those people who are going to be investigated, they are in the government. It is only Uhuru Kenyatta who is outside the government. He has retired. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of great support. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing this.